And there you are, back again. You are doing the laps, lady. Look at you.
I'm exhausted.
But that was fantastic. You said she was a fire pistol. You said she was a wonderful lady in your previous conversation. She launched off with a very strong, I'm going to be strong, confident, and I'm going to tell you, the word that encapsulates what I just saw was no BS is allowed here.
I mean, that is a crazy Spanish woman that says it like it is and means it. And talking about confidence,
Wow.
she's living her life. She's doing it her way. And I admire that. And I thought she brought up some really great golden nuggets.
She had
what'd
so
you
much.
hear?
Oh, well, again, this whole, but mentorship, and you said it during the interview, you were all day long, we keep bumping into this theme. We found our theme. We said it way back in the beginning when you and I started the show today was, what will be the theme of the day? What will be mentorship is clearly it. And then she added the link of succession.
Yes.
How do you handle that passing baton of succession? She threw that in and I went, wow, she totally understands mentorship. And then you hand it off and let them go fly, but make sure they're ready to repeat and repeat and repeat.
Right. I love that. And along with that, she really was talking to the newbies in the industry, really telling them, hey, if you want to be in this industry, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to be prepared for it. And of course, she, mentioned the mentorship, but she pretty much put everything on the line to make sure that if you're going to be in this industry, get ready to not only work hard, find a mentor, but also to succeed. You will want to succeed in this business. There's so many opportunities in the world of hospitality, and so many different directions you can go. And so you cannot not succeed. It's just a matter, are you going to put the work in? Are you going to, get a mentor to do that too?
Well, yeah, she said, go get a mentor. But the other thing she said when she got in the whole thing of, if you're going to get into this, she beat her heart. It's got to be, you feel it. You have to do it. And she went into, these are long hours. These are weekend calls that make no sense to your husband, your wife, your whoever, this doesn't make any sense, but you have to feel this and want to do this. And then again, I going back to my days as a general manager with a baseball team, man, I was into the ballpark early, cleaning up from the night before. I was resetting kegs, pulling out popcorn, getting food ready to go, getting done at after 1, 2 a.m., crashing and going back for the next game for those home stands. People don't understand hospitality is something you have to love what you do, because you are going to have crazy people that you have to smile and greet. She talked about smile, greet, be beyond. And at the same time, you have to have a passion that says, I must do this every day of my life. I just loved her conviction on that.
Yep. And there's so many different versions to speak upon that. But until you get in it and work it, I know I've tried to get out of it a couple times. I'm like, what am I doing? Hospitality is who I am. And so I keep jumping back in, and you're not going to believe this, Rich, but my very first hospitality job was a boutique hotel. And 6 months later, I got fired.
No, not you.
Yes.
Deborah.
Yes. And silly reasons why. But my point here is that 30 years later, I'm still here. So obviously it's my love. I did not give up. Like Menina said earlier, I did not give up because I love it. I kept going. And here I am today. And I was fearless. That's where I think I connected with Olga. She just really talked about encouraging women to be fearless and really go above and beyond, because she doesn't believe success is about going bigger, harder, or stronger. It's about working with different motivations, is what she talked about. And those motivations have to be within your heart, what you want to do, not what other people want you to do. I loved when she said that.
Oh, yeah. No, she made it very personal, very passionate, very strong language at times, because she definitely hanged her head on this. And she also gave some very practical tools for those, again, younger people thinking about this. She said, it's knowledge, it's skills, and it's your attitude.
Yep.
You
The
have to
old
blend all three
ask.
of those together. You have to have all these blended together.
Yes, ask. Absolutely. And I knew she would be the one that can handle the question, what's it like being a woman in a man's world? She handled that beautifully. Well, age brings wrinkles, but it also brings wisdom. I mean, I just, I didn't expect that out of her, but I knew she could handle that question.
Well, and take it a step further, she really dove off the deep end when she said, women think different.
Yeah.
And when women get with women, we think different together.
Yeah.
And that's what we need, more women getting together. I'm like, wow, you're really going to, but she really believes that that's where the women collaboration, the women leadership is more powerful to lead the industry and help the industry. Again, not hide it, not be rude about it, but she understands they think different, they feel different, they have different passions, and it's only going to help the industry. I thought, wow, she answered the question very strong, confident, and no hesitation.
Well, earlier in the show, we had Sheriff Karamat with PCMA, the president and CEO of PCMA, with us. And I talked to him a couple days ago. I like keeping in touch with him. And we were talking about the show and everything and International Hospitality Women's Day. And he said, if women have a problem with men, then be the solution. And Olga is that person to make sure she knows that there's a solution. She comes up with a strong statement, but she's got a solution behind it. So she's a prime example of what he is talking about. And that's what women today need to do.
Well, and I think whenever opening statements, and I wish I could have jumped in at that point, taking the microphone away. She said, I invest in myself first.
Yes.
I wish I could have dove in and said, please just sit on that longer, because male, female leader, up and comer, next generation leader, you have to understand the investment in yourself makes all the difference out there. So the fact that she brought up, I invest in myself first before I do any of this other stuff, I mean, that's one of the gold nuggets here today. That is clearly one of the gold nuggets.
It is. And yet it's the biggest, probably one of the biggest challenges that women face. They don't know how to put themselves first because they're a mother. They're trying to care for a parent, or they're trying to, impress the boss. But Olga is all of those things. I mean, she's a boss. She works for bosses. She's a mother. But yet to hear her say, you've got to put yourself first. We all need to follow that statement. We really do. And that's where you start. That is exactly where you start. But I really enjoyed her. And I love the way she says, I'm beautiful. Look at my hair.
She exudes the confidence that we all want to have, regardless of who you are. But she had the confidence. And from out of the C-suite where I hang out with, the word is swagger. She had that swagger of, I've got the confidence. I know I wear it, but I wear it good.
Yeah. And she believes that. And that's where we, as women really need to start embracing. Bottom line,
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with owning that and being a strong woman in the boardroom, in the leadership board, in the kitchen, as we heard about Asia. There's nothing wrong with owning that and still being a full-on, strong, feminine leader.
Yep. Absolutely. And I love your backdrop. I know we talked about it earlier, but I want to take another look at this.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Doesn't it make you want to go there even more after hearing from Olga and talking with her?
Yes.
Wouldn't you like to hang out with Olga for a weekend in Spain?
Oh, absolutely. She would be the first one I would call. There's no doubt about it. And she is beautiful. She's brilliant. She's confident. She's fearless. She's all that I want to be when I grow up. I don't know about you, but I
want the hair and the swagger.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I want. I want the Hey, by the way, everyone that's watching should be asking questions. Drop in the chat box. Send us a message again. Deborah, how can they get involved with this amazing conversation? Because these are great things. Put it in Facebook, put it in the chat line, but what else can do that they can get involved with all our fun here?
Oh my gosh, we can invite you onto the show, which I do have that information right here that everybody can take a look at. hello@hospitalitytodaylive.com. email us right now, and request to be on the show. We're waiting for you. We've already had one great guest, and we'd love to have some more. This is your opportunity after, especially watching a segment even earlier in the day, that you can provide your thoughts on. We're happy to revisit any of these episodes. And of course, they will be replayed. So that way later on, you can share them, you can review them. By all means, definitely share them with people and within your organization or company as well. And anyone that you feel that would, be of interest of these segments as well. This is just a fun day.
It's a blast. I want to go back to Olga before we move on to our next travel log here. And yes, we have another travel log image, but I'm going to go back to Olga. She said one other great thing, and I thought this was maybe one of the riskier statements she said as a very confident woman. Women stop the competition. There is something about that when leaders rise and there is that competition, male, female, whatever, but it's something about the dynamic, and I've seen it played out in the boardroom, leadership room. You get two women in a room sometimes that are both leaders of their own, but they go after each other more than they go after the leadership. And she just called it out. She said, stop the competition, collaborate. What do you think of that?
I totally agree with her on that. And I'm glad she said it loud and clear, because women judge each other. And that's where it's always been for a long, long time. Women dress for women. We don't dress for men. We're always trying to upscale ourselves over other women. And that is so wrong. That's where it even starts. You have to be who you are. And if you invest in yourself first, like she said, you will discover who you are and you will dress the way you are. But I totally agree. We need to get away from that competition and start collaborating. And I believe if that happens, we're going to see a lot more women in the leadership positions, and that it has to stop. It has to stop.
Can we add into there? Let's not just stop competing, but can we start celebrating the other women as they lead and grow and take on? Can we tip the scale? Because that's what this whole International Women's Day is all about, really, right? We're trying to raise them up, celebrate them. Can't we just all get along a little bit better, but celebrate each other?
I have to tell you, as a competitive performance expert, it's all about competing with yourself. You are your biggest opponent. You are your biggest enemy. You have to believe that in order to improve yourself. And I believe that being competitive with others is only going to hold you back, because you're going to get into a judgment standpoint of view, and then you're going to waste your energy in that type of arena instead of going, hey, let's celebrate her. Let's support her. Let's provide confidence for her to get where she needs to go. Because if you do that, what you're doing is you're developing a relationship with somebody that's in that position that you someday want to have or that you want to be. I think we need to utilize each other and leverage each other and utilize each other's strengths and weaknesses and talk about them and find out, hey, how can we help each other? Because that's what will be known in the boardroom. If two women walk in ready to go, ready to rock and roll, how powerful is that?
Certainly. Again, I'd go back to that competitive nature as a gymnast. Gymnastics, people think it's a team sport. It's really not a team sport. It's you and the apparatus.
Right.
I did pommel horse. That was my primary. I did other things, but it was me and the apparatus. So that was my competition, was me and that thing. Now the team got points for my performance.
Right.
And that's where the team come in. Each one of us had our thing. You don't do a team gymnastics, go out there and do 5 ring routines together. How cool that would be. But you don't do that. You do that and then you get your team points. So it's the same thing here when you're trying to figure out that competitive edge. Bring the best of you, but you're really not competing against everyone else. You are trying to compete yourself, raise everybody up. Reciprocity.
Right.
As I'm going to go up, Deborah's going to go up. As Deborah goes up, I'm going to go up. As the hospitality business goes up, we're going to go up. Right. That's what everything is all about.
Right. And if we're talking, gender wise, men get that. They really do. Yeah. They really do. And what I love about men, and because I study men a lot, because I did the book, How to Sell to Men Without Wearing a Low-Cut Dress, to help women understand what men are thinking. And I love, especially when men negotiate, It's hardcore, but then you'll see them at the bar having a beer together right afterward.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I mean, we can go full throttle after each other.
yeah,
You can even throw a punch, and then you're gonna say, "Hey, bro, come on, let's go." It's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a totally different thing. Now,
and that's what we need to learn from. Okay, well, let's switch gears here.
no, that's what I was gonna say.
And where are we going next?
I am going to bring you back to the gold U.S. of A.
Oh, look at that outfit. Yeah,
We're coming home,
love
folks,
it.
but we have more destinations still to go, and you don't want to miss out. We still have Asia and Mexico to come, but we're coming home to the United States of America. Again, the red, white, and blue. And with pandemic and all the changes, we've heard so many different things. I'm sure, Deborah, I'm really interested in what this conversation is going to be like and how we can learn about our own backyard a little bit more, because one thing we have heard about, we touched on in our last segment, was the stay vacation has become a big thing. The travel across country and your mobile homes become a big thing. I'm curious about what we're going to hear in this one about the Americana way of the shift of the hospitality.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that it's definitely going to be a interesting conversation that we're going to have with Melissa Cherry. She's the Chief Diversity and Inclusive Officer with Miles Partnership, which is a new company for her. But what I loved about her is she is homegrown USA. She's from Evanston, Illinois, but lives in Chicago. And she graduated from the University of Southern California. So she is very worldly right here in the US. She's highly skilled. She's a strategic communications person. And when we were talking about birthdays, her birthday is November 11th, so that's coming up. But what she does is she has so many different interests. She loves jazz, she loves museums, she loves being on the outdoor. And she just was awarded, and this is such a big deal, Rich, when you were talking about awards in the industry. She was just awarded for her leadership with Destinations International. So we're really proud of her and what she has accomplished. And I'm just so excited for all of us to hear what she has to say, especially when inclusion and diversity is such a hot topic right now. And that definitely is not going to go away, right?
No, that's not going away. The changes of the industry are not going to go away. But again, we've gone around the world and we've heard some different flavors of how relationship male-female roles are, leadership roles are. And now midway through the day, we're going to come back to the U.S. It's going to be interesting because I kind of like what we've heard in some other areas. I kind of like how they've stretched the bounds. And now we're coming back here and it's like, maybe we're going to be as comfortable with this conversation, or are we going to be maybe a little bit frustrated by this conversation? I don't know where it's going to go, but we've heard so much expansiveness of the role of the leader, of the female leader, the woman leader in the hospitality. I wonder where this is going to go.
Yeah, this is going to definitely be different because she is a woman on the move. I have to give you that. And you can just tell by her own diversity. And she has a lot of perspective on the future of travel and tourism. And that is very helpful for her position, because having different experiences in different segments of the hospitality industry only benefits you. So when we were talking, I believe it was earlier this morning with Mina Patia about, working in different, or maybe it was Karen in Australia, I think it was, talking about working for different companies, organizations. It's a benefit in our industry because you're still in the industry and you really get the overall landscape of your industry. And the example I gave Karen Bollinger in Australia is a lot of people will work for like one hotel chain for 40 years. But after the experience I went through of working with different and multiple hotel chains, it was so fascinating to go from one to the other and learn how each and every one of them are similar, how they're different, how they work, how they operate and different. I mean, it's fascinating. And of course, then you do know who your competition is and what they're doing. But I enjoyed that part. So to me, if you come into this industry, and those of you that have left and hopefully will come back, it is okay if you are in a different position or if you're in a different company or organization. It's almost like you're the sports guru in football. Sometimes quarterbacks have to end up being, wide receivers and vice versa.
Oh yeah, no, you change, you adapt, you get traded to different teams, the different culture, the different philosophy, different way of commanding the team. I'm also interested because she's in the heart of America. She's in the true Midwest where I grew up. And we've been global, and there is a different sense of even the United States, different flavors of the South or the Midwest, but there is a different vibe there. And I'm wondering where she comes out of all these changes. And through pandemic, through shutdown, we are just now beginning to reopen in different parts of the country. People are beginning to travel. They're flying in. They're trying conventions. They're trying hybrid. They don't know really what they're going to do yet. So I'm very interested in how in the Midwest, what her lens is. Is it global or is it still a Midwest vibe from where she's at with her own heart and mind of leadership?
Those are really good questions because we know how Midwest people are. They're just so homegrown and they don't want to leave their cocoon. I know I lived in Iowa before, but at the same time, she seems to be so worldly and so vast. And I'm just excited to talk to her because I think this is going to be a good episode, a really unique and different one as well, but yet also on a very, very serious topic, diversity and inclusion. It is a hot topic. It's in the DNA of many of us in the hospitality industry. And she elegantly explains all that and what that means and where we're going to go from here. So I think we should just take a look and give her the opportunity to share with us, and then we'll come back and recap it again. Okay, Rich?
So take a breath, get ready. You have to run and transform and slam some water during the little bumper. Okay,
I know. And high five, everybody.
That's right.
All right, everyone, hang tight. We'll be back.